now. Okay, so full disclosure. I think this might be like the third time I've Let's Played this, but I have to do it. I mean, it's like a christening of whatever channel I'm on. It's just something I kinda have to do. I mean, it's like my game or something. It's one of my absolute favorites. Plus, just coming off of Muramasa, I kind of want something easy to just sit back and play. And I know that this game won't take very long. It won't take but maybe 40 minutes to get through the whole game. But, hold on, we got a story here. Every 100 years, the forces of good mysteriously start to weaken. Thus, the power of Dracula itself starts to revive itself. Blah, blah, blah. His power grows stronger and stronger every 100 years. Because the goodness of men's hearts is, like everything, a cycle, apparently. Dracula has revived many times, however, his sinister actions have been consistently thwarted by the Belmont family. Even though we've only known of 2 Belmonts up to this point. It's been 100 years since the last confrontation between Dracula and the Belmont family, but now the serenity of Transylvania is being threatened by destructive forces. The prior confrontation between Dracula and family Belmont was with Christopher Belmont of the Game Boy games. On a dark and eerie night, Dracula rose from his grave. Who the fuck keeps giving him a grave, is my question. To unleash his destructive power over the countryside. Why not just burn him, or something? Well, then I guess they would just do that again, and kind of like what they did in Simon's Quest. Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula. With his whip and his courage, he sets out to restore peace to Transylvania. So, yeah, by that it makes it sound like it's a sequel, but really it's a reimagining of the first Castlevania. Not gonna bother with a name. Why would I? Yeah! Alright. So, story of Castlevania is, Super Castlevania that is pretty much the same of every single Castlevania, early Castlevania that is. Get through the stage, whip things, profit. That's about the story here. Castlevania 4 was the first of the 16-bit ones. Came out in 1991, I believe, late 1991. So it was one of the earlier Super Nintendo games. Wasn't one of the best-selling ones, though, sadly. But if you look at, like, top 20, top 30, top 50 Super NES games, this one's usually in the upper half. Or at least, you know, within the top 15 or 20, anyway. Now, the sub-weapon I have right now, the cross, is the one I'm going to be sticking with for the most part because it makes this, it absolutely breaks this game. I didn't exactly want to get hit by that bad. I was hoping I could jump over him, but that didn't happen. Now, obviously, cross with triple shot is kind of what I'm aiming at here. One thing I should probably explain is how to get the triple shot, because I don't think a lot of people actually know how it's supposed to work. If you hit and kill 10 enemies or objects with your sub-weapon, then a double shot comes out and do another 10, then you have your triple shot. Or you can just find them in a breakable wall like I just did there. So I'm pretty much set. I do not want to get rid of this setup for the rest of the game. If I do, it's because I was being an idiot. Because it absolutely wrecks. It makes this game almost trivial. And even though the holy water was, you know, the godsend of Castlevania 1, Super Castlevania, the godsend is the cross. Because you can just throw a wall of these things and just keep walking. In fact, I don't even need hearts. Another thing about Castlevania 4 that makes it actually a lot easier than pretty much every other old-fashioned Castlevania is that hearts are never at a premium. There are some stages where you can very easily have 99 hearts by the end of it. Because one of the highly touted features of the game is the fact that you can whip in any of the 8 digital directions possible. So I can whip down and hit this thing from below. It makes killing enemies a lot easier, especially when you're on stairs, which was one of the big bugaboos of the NES Castlevanias, was trying to kill enemies on stairs. So I'm just going to take care of the Skeleton Knight and his horse here. Since I have no skill whatsoever, I'll just spam the cross until I can be persuaded to move on here. And there we go, stage 1 over. And we're only a few minutes in. Even with all that cross wasting, I still had 12 to go, which would have been more than enough in itself to kill that boss. Stage 2 is the inevitable forest level. That is a dirty, dirty trick. In this game, more than any, they try to give you, you know, any other sub-weapon besides the cross, but they do give you the cross back enough. Like, there's a candle right above this platform right here that also carries a cross, but since I have a cross, it'll just come up as a 5 heart. And then we got these cute little mini dinos, who were apparently around in 1691. And then we have a small mother load of hearts over here, which basically stocks us for the rest of this level, which is actually quite a decent length of a level, might I add. Even though it's a short game, the levels aren't exactly shrimpy, it's just that there aren't too many of them. Bye-bye. Now we're in the swamp. The swamp right next to the forest. The Unes, the crows, which are probably your worst enemy in many parts of this game. Since this is a new console, the Medusa heads are actually a lot, like, bigger. And the pattern is a little bit easier to judge in this game. So the Medusa heads aren't much of a problem. The bats, especially the faster flying ones, are a big problem. This guy just jumped over my cross. This guy's going to do the same. However, I can get him on the rebound. It's the crows that usually give me most of my woes. Settle in on the bridge here. Like I said, fucking crows. However, the fully upgraded Vampire Killer Morningstar is fucking, like, reaches half the goddamn screen. So if you know where enemies spawn in, you should never have any problem taking them out. Now I'm going to show you just how pathetic some of the bosses in this game are. She's done. Less than a second. It's kind of sad because I think Medusa really needed more difficult iterations of herself. Then we got these flying gargoyles. Unless you're speedrunning this game, I would not recommend jumping very much throughout this section, because every single one of these spikes is instant death, and since you still can't control the height of your jump, you can control what direction you go into, which is nice, but you can't control your height. Simon Belmont is still not quite Alucard in that sense. So you gotta be careful with where and how you do your jumps. Most of the spikes in this level are meant to take advantage of how you jump. And if you're able to get it like frame perfect, you can actually get the camera to follow Simon up and down, and it creates kind of a trippy little temporary effect of the camera going up while you're going down. Stage 3, one of the longer ones in the game, I think, because it actually goes through 3 separate sections. Part 1 is in the cave here, with the little Metroid-looking like platforms. And lots of bats. And mudmen, which you don't really have to kill, but, you know, I'll kill just... I'm not doing a speedrun, so I'll just kill them. Why not? Because wailing on enemies just feels good, because... You know, there isn't like that ridiculous whip delay as there was in the NES ones. Simon's actually really, really fast at slinging this fucking thing, and it makes that nice whoosh sound effect. Now there's a secret back here, but I'm not going to bother with that, because really I don't need it. I don't need 99 hearts, thank you. I'm already going to get close enough to it anyway. That is the one negative about the cross with these mudmen things. It does lag the game considerably badly. I'll just let these fall real quick. You can actually walk through these. This one you can't walk through, because there's a mudman over there. So you'd get trapped underneath and get hit. Which, if that was your intention, then go right ahead, be my fucking guest. But I'm trying to maintain the idea that I am actually not all that fucking bad at this game. And I hope that my playstyle helps prove my point. And if I could stop hitting the table that my microphone's on, that would actually be very, very helpful as well. This Castlevania is also one of the few where you can actually swing on things with your whip, Indiana Jones style. The only other 2D Castlevania that comes to mind that you can actually do that in is Bloodlines. So that's actually not an idea that Konami used very often. Kind of wish they would have. I kind of wish they would have come up with more like platforming puzzles that center around the hooks, though they are a little temperamental. You can control the length of your whip while you're on there, so your swing radius, for lack of a better term, can be controlled if you want just a very short radius or a very long radius. Long radius will give you a little bit more distance, but it's also kind of hit or miss on stages like this, whether or not you're going to get hit or not by an enemy. These ones rolling across the platform, they can't be killed. It's just like in Castlevania 3 where they first appeared, I think. These guys are dicks. You can just wait. There's only a set amount that will appear. Eyeball. And the first of many, many, many dragons. Again, luckily with the ability to whip in multiple directions, are not hard to take care of. So the game kind of, you know, becomes a steady challenge rather than, holy shit, this game is unbelievably hard. Especially if you just fucking focus on what you're doing and not run around like an idiot, like I just did there. Or assume that your jump is going to work, because it obviously does not. I also really dig like the fucking crazy carnival circus music that plays in this song, or at least the beginning kind of sounds like a circus kind of song. There, that's how you do the goddamn dragon. Come on. There we go. He also drops you with power-up, so look at that. We are literally almost right back to where we started. Now, the mermen, if you let them, they will ruin your day. So I'm gonna try to not let them do that. Also, you can just jump onto stairs. This is one of the first Castlevanias, I think, that lets you, like, literally just jump onto the stairs. But it certainly was not the I thought that would have reached. But it's certainly not the last. This is also not... There are also slowdown problems kind of throughout this game. Also, you can hit him from here. The hitbox on this enemy is actually like really, really big. And look at that! Drops you like 60 hearts right there. If you're able to catch them all, which, you know, of course I'm not. And also they introduced in this game the little chicken legs to complement the full... technically it's a pork chop, but it looks kind of like a chicken or like a lamb or something. The chicken legs don't give you that much health, but they give you enough to keep you going, so... Now there is a quick kill on this boss. I'm not 100% sure how to do it. But, you know, hail Hydra. There we go. Jump and pose.